So anyone who seen my previous post kind of complaining about the downpipe section off of this exhaust header setup that I bought, I never mentioned the brand name. Anyone who wanted to really search would figure it out, but now I'm just going to throw them under the bus. It's OBX, no surprise. I mean, it was the only option really without waiting for something to get shipped from overseas. So I didn't really have a whole lot of choice of what to go with beyond just building my own. And it looks like majority of what I'm going to have to do, because I think from this purchase, I pretty much got a set of headers and everything else is junk. Right off the bat, I've got a bolt hole on this front header that does not line up with the stud. So I can't even bolt. Everything else on all the rear flange and on the rest of it seems to line up just fine. But then there's the alignment issue of the downpipe or mid pipe or whatever you want to call this in the front header. It is straight up against the engine right there, and I don't even have the header up against the block, obviously, because of that one stud not lining up right, and there's no way I could get that to actually come back a couple inches. Okay, so my shop heater turned on, so I got up and turned that off. Anyway, back at it. So this is actually needing to move back quite a bit, and that means this would have to really smash together at least over an inch in order to make that able to match up to the cylinder head up there. Well, that's not happening. The back header is actually fairly decent. I wish it came out a little bit closer to the driver's side, like right about here versus over here, but that's all right. But then that brings us to the next section, which is this collector here between the two pipes. As junky as it kind of is, it's not horrible, but it's not great either, except for when you realize it hangs extremely low. I mean, we're off-road racing this thing. I'm going to catch that on everything. That's not going to work. So pretty much out of this whole kit, I got headers, and I'm cutting everything else off. I already cut it off here to redo this crappy rear section, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut both these headers. This one, I'm probably going to cut it right there and put a tighter bend on it so I can get it to hug the car tighter. I could probably leave this alone. That actually is kind of tucked up close to the oil pan well enough. But I'm just going to have to build that from there back. I'm obviously going to have to fix the bolt hole up there. That's doable. I'm going to have to redo this here, and then I'm going to have to put I'm going to probably bring them back a little bit and then put a new union or merge collector right here into the catalytic converter. So yeah, luckily there's only like $550, which I guess for the cost of a set of headers is fairly cheap. But OBX, y'all's quality is workmanship. I'm not real impressed. I'm not surprised, but I guess thanks for a pair of headers. So actually looking at the header at this angle made me think that even once that gets bolted up, as you can kind of tell, it's not all the way, obviously, because that far passenger side stud doesn't match up to the hole all that well. This thing's going to shift this way, which means the header outlet is actually going to shift that way even more, which means that mid pipe is really far off. So it's even worse than I thought, because that thing's going to want to go that way, and this pipe is way over here against the engine. So, yeah, we're just building it off the headers, all new, all the way back.